Marble, they say, never lies. Yet this face has asked one question for 25 centuries. Can a man be both the architect of democracy and the master of an empire? Athens called him first citizen. The islands he taxed whispered another word. This is the story of Pericles and of the morality of power. Pericles, son of Xanthippus. No king, no tyrant, only a man elected year after year. For 30 years Athens taught with his voice, and these columns rose by his will. The Parthenon, his greatest work and his most expensive sentence. Every block was paid in allied silver. Beauty was a form of politics, and the bill had not yet come due. Below, a city was waiting, loud, proud, quarrelsome, and free. To Pericles, Athens was not stone, but an idea, built of citizens, and ideas demand protection. Yet, every golden age carries its own sunset. The light of Athens would last exactly one man's lifetime. Not a day more, not a day less. Days before his birth, his mother dreamed she bore a lion. Her blood ran back to Clisthenes, father of democracy, and over that bloodline hung an ancient curse. The name was a weapon, Alcmaeonid. To friends, the house of democracy. To enemies, a cursed line. One day Sparta would demand a single thing: drive out the accursed. Beneath this tree, a child grew. Its branches shielded him from the sun. Its roots touched every sin of the past. One day, the highest branch would be his. Here is that child, frozen in marble, a calm face, a measured gaze, and a thin crack across the chest, as if even the stone knows this story will not end unbroken. He was born to these salons and fled them. Plutarch writes he knew a single road, the one between his house and the assembly. Power demands discipline. Old men shuddered at the sight of this boy. His face, his voice, his bearing recalled the fallen tyrant Pisistratus. The child knew, and so he kept silent for years. In this room a mind was built. His teacher Anaxagoras left him one idea. The universe is ruled not by fear, but by mind moves. Freed from superstition, he would never fear the crowd. Privilege is beautiful behind glass. Crowns, jewels, decrees. But Pericles saw it early. These were ornaments of a dead world. The future was not in cabinets, but in the square. This stone held a magic. Whoever stood upon it was equal. Noble or farmer, the right to speak was the same. They called it Isegoria. Pericles wanted no throne. He wanted this stone. And the square filled. Potters, farmers, rowers, merchants. Alone, none was powerful. Together, a new being was born. Demos, the people, and the people were king. This was democracy's true voice. Objection. Here ideas clashed, words were sharpened, decisions forged, shouting was free, silencing forbidden. In that noise, Pericles found his voice. One day he stepped into the circle, one man before 10,000 eyes. Aristophanes would write, he lightened, he thundered, and threw all Hellas into turmoil. He did not flatter. He told the people what they refused to hear, and they elected him 15 years running. Thucydides wrote, in name a democracy, in truth the rule of the first man. When the words ended, the deciding began. No representatives, only themselves. War, a vote. Peace, a vote. A general's life, a vote. History, for the first time, lay in the people's palm. The Greek word for vote was psephos, a pebble. White acquitted, black condemned. A tiny stone, yet it could exile a man or launch a fleet. History's lightest weapon, and its heaviest. Picture a farmer. This morning, his field. Now, a city's fate in his hand. For the second the stone falls, he is Pericles' equal. Democracy's miracle. Everyone's 1 second kingship. One stone is a whisper. 1,000 stones are thunder. For the first time on earth, a city entrusted its fate not to kings, but to arithmetic. You know this gesture, don't you? The box has changed, stone became paper, but the motion is the same. For 2,500 years, humanity has answered one question with one movement. Who shall rule? When the count ended, the decision was law. No veto, no appeal. A morning's vote meant an evening's fleet. In Athens, mathematics turned directly into history. Athens' most radical idea. Most officials were not elected. They were drawn by lot. Elections favor the famous and the rich. Chance knows no one. Not the ballot, but fortune spoke. The wheel turns, and no one knows where it stops. That was the point. You cannot bribe chance, cannot frighten it, flatter it, buy it. The lottery pulled power's hand, off the table. Clerks, judges, councilmen, all by lot. One exception. Generals were elected. Pericles found that single door and sat in it 15 years. Not a flaw in the system itself. The chosen received two things, a staff and a token. The staff showed where to serve. The token became wages. Yes, wages, Pericles' invention. Poverty was no longer exile from power. Look at the city's heart. No king statue, no arch of triumph. At the center, a drum of chance. Chance is unjust but impartial. Man is precisely the opposite. This is no theater, it is a court. No judges, no lawyers, 501 citizens, and you. You defend yourself, and these benches, one day, would judge Pericles himself. The same hand that launched fleets and raised walls cast one shadow. Its verdict answered to no one. Above it stood no king, no court, only the sky. Once decided, it was cut in bronze and set in the street. Law was not hidden in palaces, it stood in the square for all to read. King's law was a whisper, Athens' law, shouted in the sun. Every decision on the hill scattered like light upon the houses. On bread, on taxes, on war. No roof escaped this light, and soon these rays would cross the sea. Athens' soil was poor, stony, dry, ungenerous. But look to the horizon, there lies the true homeland, the Aegean. Who holds this sea, holds the grain, the silver, the future. Hundreds of cities on the map, islands, coasts, straits. The Delian League free cities sworn against Persia, but maps deceive. Every name written alley would soon read subject. These narrow waters were Athens' artery. Black Sea wheat passed here to feed hundreds of thousands. Whoever holds the road of bread holds the heart of the city. The proof was on the stalls. Papyrus from Egypt, wheat from Thrace, purple from Phoenicia. Pericles would boast. The produce of the whole earth flows into our harbor. It began with one decision. Silver was struck from the mines, and the people wished to share it. Themistocles said no, build ships. 200 ships, and history changed course. 300 ships, 170 oars in each. And here is the secret. The rowers were the poor. The state needed them, so it gave them a voice. Democracy's engine was the oar. Look at the children on the quay. To them, a ship was more than timber, a father's wage, a door of bread, the horizon itself. An Athenian child learned the map in the harbor before school. But the same sails looked different from another shore. For an allied city, a fleet on the horizon meant one thing: payment is due. No one awaited an invitation. The fleet was the invitation. The water split by the prow reaches every shore in waves. So does power. The ship is one point, its wake strikes every coast. Athens' strength was not where it went, but everywhere it could go. The Aegean was once a nest of pirates, every cape an ambush. The Athenian navy swept the sea clean. Merchants breathed, roads opened, but security too had its tariff. The rule of the league was simple: give ships or give money. Most chose money, it was easier. Athens built the ships. Years later, they understood. The navy belonged to one city. They called it phoros, contribution. When does contribution become tribute? In 454 BC, when the treasury left sacred Delos and quietly sailed to Athens. Reason, safety. Result, no common chest, and the gold flowed toward the temple. With allied tribute, Pericles carved marble and cast a goddess. Opponents cried. This money was for defense, not adornment. Pericles did not turn his head, yet the gold had another face. Pericles asked, shall it lie idle or become work? And the building began. Mason, carpenter, painter, 1,000 families ate from this chest. Gold and soldiers in one square, the empire's two gears. Money feeds power, power guards money. On a far shore, someone watched with dread. Its name was Sparta, and Sparta did not fear wealth. The web binding hundreds of cities to one center had a name: control. Athens could hold trade, cut the silver, send the fleet. No one loved this web, and no one dared to cut it. Yet, when the rays went dark, this remained, a treasure glowing in the night, a temple standing guard. But gold heaped in one place is a boast and a target. Every shining hoard tempts someone. 431 BC. Spartan spears crossed the border and peace fell to the earth. Pericles was right, perhaps, but war listens not to the righteous, only to the strong. That spring, a nightmare began. Two worlds stood face to face. Sea against land, merchant against soldier. 30 years of war were beginning a war that would swallow a generation. Its name, the Peloponnesian War. The war's first year ended, and the earth took its first harvest. Athens buried its dead with honors of state. But most who would lie here would die not of war, but of something yet to come. Sparta's plan was brutally simple. Burn Attica, fields, vines, olive groves, all to the torch. The aim was provocation. Come out and fight. Pericles saw the trap and did not come out. Our walls are our ships, he said. The land he surrendered, the sea, never. Let Attica burn the fleet was Athens' soul. This was not surrender. It was a gamble with the gods. Athens ruled the sea, Sparta the land. Sea against soil, war against spear. As the two powers polarized, the ancient world locked itself into a war none could stop. Fate saw the gamble and raised it. 430 BC, a ship carried plague into Piraeus. What Sparta could not burn, sickness burned. The walls stopped the spear and let death in. Death moved house to house, alive at dawn, dead by dusk. The temples filled with corpses, god and worshipper fell silent. Thucydides saw and wrote, the holy died, and with it law and fear. Names were erased, rites fell mute. The dead went into nameless pits. Yesterday this city buried heroes, today it merely counted corpses. The oration's splendor sank into the soil. Come closer and read. Each stone a name, each name a story. A son, a father, a neighbor. The state called them heroes. In a mother's eyes, they were only the ones who never came home. There stands the platform. Bare, plain, waiting. Soon Pericles would climb it and give the most famous speech in history. He came to praise the dead, but he would defend the living, Athens itself. İlk kışın ölüleri için söz aldığında tarihin en ünlü konuşmasını yaptı. Biz güzelliği ölçüyle, bilgeliği yumuşamadan severiz. We love beauty without extravagance, wisdom without softness. Athens is the school of Hellas. Over the graves that day, it was not a city that spoke, but a civilization explaining itself. Thucydides wrote it down, and the words outlived the marble. 25 centuries later, statesmen still borrow its lines. Stone crumbles. A sentence well made does not. He began with the dead and ended with the living. Gaze upon this city and become her lover. Glorious words. No one knew that much of that crowd would be under the earth within a year. Fate saw the gamble and raised it. 430 BC, a ship dropped anchor at Piraeus, and from its hold stepped an unseen enemy. Plague. What Sparta could not burn, sickness burned. Death walked street by street, healthy at dawn, dead by dusk. Temples filled with bodies, prayer and God fell silent. Thucydides wrote, the sacred ceased to be sacred. Law died and so did fear. The city could no longer count its dead. Rites ended, names were lost, bodies went nameless into pits. Yesterday Athens buried heroes. Now it only buried its dead, and the heaviest blow found Pericles. The plague took his sister first, then his sons. The marble face that had not trembled in 30 years cracked over his youngest boy's coffin. This was an age when people died alone. Mother could not reach child, friend could not reach friend. Dying was terrible, dying alone was worse. Some enemies no wall can stop. His own turn came without hurry. With his last breath, he left one sentence. No Athenian ever wore mourning because of me. If Samos had heard it, what would Samos have said? The youngest understood it first, grief needs no teacher. In their weeping, an empire heard what it had forgotten. Power cannot ransom a single breath. And in 404 BC, when the long walls came down to the sound of flutes, the city of Pericles fell to its knees. Today a bust remains and a question. Was the man who financed democracy with an empire a hero or a courteous tyrant? Perhaps both, for the morality of power is like marble. Whichever light you hold it in, that is the face you will see. Empires do not fall in a day, they leak. Stone by stone, oath by oath, the city that taught Hellas became a lesson itself. What war spares, time collects. Streets that heard the step of Pericles now heard only the cartwheel, carrying off the past, piece by piece. The Parthenon still stands, wounded but standing, like his question. How long does power leave a good man? Good, marble does not answer. It only endures. This time, Chronos and Logos leaves the answer to you.